Hi there, I'm Zoot Java. Today I'd like to talk about the Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She has unfortunately died today, September 18th, 2020, at the age of 87 as a result of complications from pancreatic cancer. Born Joan Ruth Bader on March 15th, 1933 in Brooklyn, New York. She got her bachelor's degree at Cornell University, got married, and began a family before starting law school at Harvard, where she was one of the very few women at the time in her class. She then transferred to Columbia Law School, graduating tied for first in her class. She became a professor after this at Rutgers Law School and Columbia Law School. Ginsberg spent a lot of her legal time advocating for gender equality and women's rights. She was a volunteer attorney for the ACLU and on its board of directors in the 1970s. In 1980, President Jimmy Carter appointed her to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit, where she served until being appointed to the Supreme Court. She died at home in Washington, D.C. She went to Cornell University, where she met Martin Ginsberg, who she married a month after her graduation from Cornell. They moved to Oklahoma when Martin was stationed there in the ROTC in the Army Reserve. In 1956, she enrolled at Harvard Law School, being one of 9 women in a class of 500 men. The women were all invited to the Dean of Harvard Law's home for dinner, where he asked them all why they were at Harvard Law School taking the place of a man. She earned her law degree at Columbia in 1959. From 1961 to 1963, she learned to speak Swedish to help with a book on civil procedure in Sweden. She researched at Lund University in Sweden for the book. While in Sweden, she began thinking about gender equality. She saw up to 25% of all law students were women, with a judge even working up to 8 months pregnant. These inspirations came to her to drive her as one of the many people who let nothing stand in their way. She then became the inspiration to women to allow nothing to stand in their way. But not just women. Anyone who would find themselves seemingly marginalized for any number of reasons. If you take the fight to them, you will achieve what you are fighting for. Those who she found as adversaries wound up with the utmost respect for her because she stood for what she believed in and always had integrity within. Even though others were part of the cause of women's rights, she seemed to always be there leading the charge for the betterment of society as a whole through the rights and causes of those who may not have had the ability to be able to do so themselves. Rest in peace, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. My take on this? Well, this was such a remarkable lady that the history of the United States became hinged on the tireless work that she drove herself with. Unfortunately for herself, she miscalculated her health. She told her granddaughter that her most fervent wish is that she wouldn't be replaced until a new president is installed. When you have an illness such as she did at her advanced age, you have to take the sure thing, even if it means giving up what you love doing the most. Retiring before the 2016 election would have had the most favorable replacement that she herself would have liked. Unfortunately, you can't have your cake and eat it too. However, she accomplished so much in her lifetime that benefited so many that regrets are not what this lady should have had. Hopefully, nothing but joy and satisfaction at a wonderful life lived by a remarkable person entrenched deeply in the history books of her beloved United States, a country ever so proud of her. Well, now for my bad joke. 2 lawyers were going at it before a trial even started. One lawyer said, "You're a complete and total fraud." The other lawyer said, "You're a cheap ambulance chaser." The judge cut in and said, "Well, now that you've identified each other, is there a chance we can go on with the case?" Oh boy. Anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps me out. Share my content on all your social media because I get censored by all the usual suspects. If you're watching this on YouTube, there's a link in the description box below to take you to my channel on BitChute of all the identical content just in case I get removed. Until later, have a Java on Zoot.